morning, students. In the previous video, we learnt about the introduction of consumer protection. Consumer protection refers to protecting the consumers against anti-consumer trade practices of manufacturers or sellers. Now, in this video, we'll focus upon the rights provided to the consumers under the Consumer Protection Act 1986. So, let's begin with the first right, that is right to safety. The consumer has the right to be protected against the marketing of goods and services which are hazardous to life and property. That is, consumer has a right to buy the safe products which may not harm him in any way. Producers need to strictly follow the required safety rules and regulations. There are many goods and services that we purchase that require special attention to safety, especially the electronic products. For example, pressure cookers have safety valve which, if it is defective, can cause a serious accident. Manufacturers of the safety valve have to ensure high quality. The purchased goods and services availed of should not only meet their immediate needs but also fulfill long-term interest. Before purchasing, consumers should insist on the quality of products as well as the guarantee of products and services. They should preferably purchase the quality marked products such as ISI, egg mark, that is agricultural mark, etc. So, first right as per the Consumer Protection Act is consumer should be aware and he should avail his right of purchasing such a good which is safe to be used. And in this regard, manufacturer and supplier should take care that such hazardous products which are injurious to life or property should not reach market. Now, second right of the consumer is the right to choose. As per this right, consumer has the right to be assured wherever possible of access of variety of goods and services at competitive prices. He should have avail his right to choose the product. In case of monopolies now, it means right to be assured of satisfactory quality and service at fair price. It also includes right to basic goods and services. This is because unrestricted right of minority to choose can mean a denial for the majority of the fair share. This right can better be exercised in a competitive market where a variety of goods are available at competitive prices. Any consumer who receives a service in whatever capacity, regardless of age, gender, nature of service, has the right to choose to continue to receive the service or not. So, I'll again tell you that consumer has the right to choose. He has right to accept from the variety of the goods and services available in the market or to reject. You as a consumer, when you go for purchasing one specific dress for your party, you may go for purchasing, you may see the variety, you may take a lot of time of the supplier and still you may reject. That is your right, because nobody can force you to buy a product which you may not feel off to pay. So this is your right to choose. आप choose कर सकते हो, आप time spend कर सकते हो अपनी choice के लिए, कोई आपको force नहीं करेगा. This is your right to choose. Next right is right to be informed. Means right to be informed about the product, about the quality, quantity of the product, potency of the product, purity, ingredients if it is the edible product, manufacturing date, expiry date, plus other details, that is address of the manufacturer and many more. Standardized products, then if it is a marked product, then you will see the mark of the product, price of the good, most important part, so as to protect the consumer against unfair or unscrupulous trade practices. Consumers should insist on getting all the information about the product or service before making a choice or a decision. This will enable him to act wisely and responsibly and also enable him to desist from falling prey to high pressure selling techniques. So this way, consumer should be an informed consumer. This is the right to be informed about the product that you are buying. If you are buying an electronic product, you see that the manual is along with the product, that is related to how to use the product. What are the safety ways to use the product? If you are buying an edible product, you see the flavor of the product, you see the price tag, then you also see the ingredients involved there. You see the red or the green dot, whether it is vegetarian or maybe some non-vegetarian components are included. You should be informed. Similarly, if it is a tobacco product or such a product which is injurious to health, you see that on the label it is mentioned that consuming tobacco is injurious to life of a person. Similarly, such warnings are written on medicines also to be taken under the medical supervision. This way, the label informs the entire information related to the product. Still, if a consumer wants and if any information is lacking in the label of the product, he may ask the seller. The next right is right to consumer education. Now you will not get confused between the right to be informed and right to education. Right to education says that a consumer should be well informed. You are a consumer. You as a student, you go for purchasing along with your parents. Sometimes you may go alone. You should be aware about your rights. You should be aware about your responsibilities. You should be aware about the remedies available if you are exploited. You should be available about the mechanism where to complain. You should be an aware consumer. You should have the entire education related to Consumer Protection Act 1986. Your knowledge is must. This is right to consumer education. So this right to acquire the knowledge and skill to be an informed consumer throughout life. Ignorance of consumers, particularly rural consumers or illiterate consumers, is mainly responsible for their exploitation, which should not happen. They should know their rights, they should know their responsibilities, they should know how to exercise their rights, and moreover, they should know where to file a complaint in case if they are exploited. This is right to consumer education. Then is right to be heard. Important right. आपको सुनना जाना चाहिए, आपकी सुनवाई होनी चाहिए. It means in case you are exploited, the retailer, the seller should listen to you. If he does not listen, you may go to the producer, that is to the company. If the company also does not listen to your complaints, then you may file a complaint in the court of law, that is consumer court. This way, you have a right to be heard, you have a right to speak, you have a right to say, you have a right to file your complaint, register your complaint. Right to be heard means that consumers' interest will receive due consideration in appropriate forums. District forum, state forum, or that is State Consumer Commission or the National Consumer Commission. If a consumer is not heard, if he cannot file a complaint anywhere, it means his right has been violated. So, right to be heard means you have a right to speak and you should be heard, your complaint should be heard. The consumer should form non-political and non-commercial consumer organization which can be given representation in various committees formed by the government and other bodies, and the complaint of the consumer should be heard. Last but not the least is the right to seek redressal. Means once your complaint is heard, then the right is that you should get the remedy for that. You should get the solution for that. Consumers have the right to seek redressal against unfair trade practices, unscrupulous exploitation. It also includes right to fair settlement of genuine grievances of the consumer. If a consumer has filed a complaint and the seller or the producer is found guilty, he should be penalized, or consumer should be satisfied by returning his money or by providing him the solution to his problem. So I hope students that you are clear with all the 6 rights. That's all. Thank you.